Hello,
Good
everyone.
evening, everyone.
Daigle.
Welcome
Oh,
you to,
hey, Dana, go ahead.
yeah, we want to welcome you to the Keep Punching Zoom here this evening. We do every Monday night. We've got two great people on this evening. I want to turn it over to our host for the evening from Gonzales, Louisiana, Mr. Kerry Daigle. Kerry, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate it so much. Now, many of you listening in, this is going to be a special treat tonight. Curt Beavers has been a leader in the Juice Plus company for over 37 years, and he has helped thousands of partners to change their lives through the message of reliable income. Now, Curt, along with his wife, Lori, have built one of the largest teams in all of North America and many parts of the world. Curt travels the country giving out his almost 4 decades of wisdom to teach others to make a life and not just a living. So tonight, Curt, I have a series of questions that were given to me by several new partners who are anxious to hear from you. So, Curt, there's a lot of partners in Juice Plus who know your name, but they don't really know your story or the story of the Beavers family and how this business all started. So, let's do this. What was your job or profession before you joined Juice Plus? It was originally called NSA at that time. Am I correct? And how old were you?
Well, I was 22 when I got started. Lori and had been married for about 6 months, and I was in commercial real estate, but I was only 6 months out of college. So you could really say this was my first true profession.
So, you and Laurie were the same age?
She was actually, let's see, when we signed up, I think she was 22 and I had just turned 23. So yeah, that's right.
And recently
So
married?
just married. So we've been in the business 37 years and been married 38.
Wow. Now, who signed you up, Curt? Was it you first or was it Lori?
No, that's the real part of the story is I really wasn't looking to change my career. Lori signed up first because we just wanted to make a little bit of income so she could stay at home and be a mama and not have to put our kids in daycare. And then once we kind of saw a different picture, which I'm sure you're going to ask me some more questions, once we really saw it at a different stage, I joined her, but she was in first. So she gets all the credit.
I can understand that. Now, what was the deciding decision for you to turn this into what I call a flourishing business? I mean, what is it that caught you and caught Lori's attention um, to do the business?
You know, Kerry, that's a real interesting question because I think there's it's something everybody's got to think about. I think the American dream is either kind of sparkling or dormant in almost everybody. Those that have not gone out and see something on their own, I think there's a desire. And Lori and I had always talked about her being able to stay at home, owning our own business. You know, we'd have in premarital counseling and planning our lives and planning our future, but we really never did anything about it. We just talked about it. And how many of you know, how many of you have something that you want to do that you've not taken that step and you just talk a lot about it, you dream a lot about it? Well, we decided to do this so Lori could stay at home. And really that would have been a success, but we got 38 customers our first month. We were so excited, and she far surpassed her $1,000 a month goal. And actually, as Kerry says, you know, share your story, what happened. A lot don't know our story. I think that really is what attracts people to our business because everybody that we knew didn't need to stay at home with their kids, but some of them got on an airplane on Sundays and traveled till Thursdays, and others, they couldn't afford to put their kids in private school. And some, you know, they didn't like who they worked next to. They had road rage driving an hour and a half commute to work. So whatever their reason was, of those 38 customers, we didn't even believe it. But of those 38 customers, they said, hey, what are y'all doing? How's Lori going to get to stay at home? And we got to share the business with them. 5 of them joined us the first month. So month one, Kerry, we had 38 customers and 5 partners. And we worked hard. We worked our rear ends off. But that was the beginning. And then the second month, the person that brought us in the business was kind of a mercy personality, and they loved the product. They loved the business, but they couldn't explain it. And we caught the attention of the person that had brought her in the business. He understood the marketing plan a little better, and his name was Gary. And he said, Curt, y'all are going to be national marketing directors. And we said, what in the heck is that? Because remember, Kerry, we were young and our goal was $1,000 a month. So, I mean, we didn't, that's all we were thinking about. Let's get a few customers, make $1,000 a month. We'd never done anything like this before in our life. And so when he said national marketing director, I said, what is that? He said, well, you've already got 5 people. If you help them reach our top commission level, you can get benefits, expense allowance, tuition reimbursement. I'm like, whoa, that's a full-time gig, you know? So that's when I left my business 4 months later, when we changed our vision from let's get a few customers to let's build a business that can change our family's financial future for generations to come. And that's what we did.
Wow. Real interesting story. A lot of people, as I said earlier, they know who you are, Curt, but they really don't know Curt, the person. Now, if everyone that's listening, of course, many of you know there's a group called the Founders that was chosen by the founder and president, Jay Martin, to form this group.
Right.
And Jay chose the entire Beaver family one year as founders. And the question is, so everyone can really get to understand how the Beavers have made a major impact on the business of Juice Plus. Who are the Beavers that became the largest family to build top-level leadership in this company? Would you mind sharing?
No, and Kerry, what an honor and privilege to have been chosen by Jay. And I know he also gave you and Mickey the Founders Award, and I know you cherish that as I do, and we both respect Jay. He was almost like a second dad to me after my parents got divorced when I was young, and Jay was such a leader and mentor and role model in my life. So we were very honored to get that award. But we did build this as a family from day one. When Lori and I signed up, it was her gig for her to stay at home, but we were doing it together as a couple. We decided to do this, and we started out, you know, we'd go do things at night. We made sacrifices in the beginning so we could go build our business. And then, you know, a month or two into the business, my mom joined us. It took a little convincing, but she was in the financial arena, and we convinced her to join us. And then my uncle David joined us. And so we really made it a family business from day one. It wasn't like your business, my business. We strategized, we planned together. We thought of things we wanted our family to gain and benefit from this business. And so we put on boot camps together. As a matter of fact, you're coming to Atlanta in the end of January, and we're hosting a boot camp that my mom and I started in 1989, Kerry, over 30 years ago. And we did that so we could pour into our leaders, because we believe, you know, it's funny, I love to do word studies, but you know, Kerry, in this business, we sponsor people. We bring them on board, and my mom and my entire family, we've always believed that word sponsor, it's the same root word as the word responsibility. And so when we bring somebody into this business, we feel like we have a responsibility to support them, train them, and equip them, and help them reach the goals they want to reach. And so as a family, we just, you know, grabbed people, you know, hugged them, loved them, and kind of treated it like a, kind of like a relay race. I don't know how many of you all watch the Olympics and you see that 4x400 or 4x100 relay race. You know, that first guy, he takes off, and then you got the other 3 guys, but the guy who was the most successful coach in history, I forgot his name. I wish I could remember. But people were asking, why were you so successful in coaching college athletes? Why did you win the track thing every year? And everybody was thinking, dude, you can recruit the fastest runners, the most efficient runners. And he said, no, y'all got it all wrong. He said, it's not the speed of the runner, it's the ability to pass the baton that makes because we've all seen in the Olympics, you drop the baton once, it's over. So that first guy runs his leg of the race, and he hands his hand and the other guy's hand are on that baton for a moment together, because he's got to make sure he gets up to speed before he releases that. And that's what I think our family became good at. We would grab people that wanted to do what we were doing, wanted to build an income for their family. Our family modeled that. We put our hand on the baton with them. Our family ran the race with their family for a season, and we got them up to speed. And we were able to help over 250 people reach that same level we did, national marketing director.
That's amazing. 250 people. So you've had your uncle, David Beavers, you
Yep.
had your mother, you had
Yep.
your wife, you had
Yep.
yourself,
Yep.
and each one of you reached the very highest level possible and have developed incredibly large teams that we're going to discuss a little bit more about in this call over the years. That's amazing to have a family work together that closely and to build the teams that you have. Now, we discussed the value of developing new team members as the one thing that literally increased your income 10 times. We talked about that recently. Now, although anyone can do well getting customers, we all know that. Why is it that new team members is the answer to building a dynasty as you did and the rest of your family? And why now?
Well, I mean, the simple answer to that question, Kerry, is that, many hands make for light work. We've got a big mission of inspiring healthy living around the world. And we can't even touch it by ourselves. So we need team, we need people, we need more hands, arms, and legs. But it's really what has created our business, because I believe that most people get in our business because at some point in time, they see the possibility of them building a business that will allow them to stop trading hours for dollars. You see, I found out that most of my friends and most of the people that I wanted to bring in this business, they got up and went to work every day, and they spent most of their waking efforts, hours of the day, creating a paycheck instead of crafting the life they wanted to create. So the mindset that I adopted, and Lori and I and our family adopted, and then we began to teach, was it's not going out and getting that next customer. It's so important that we get more people taking our product and benefiting and flooding their body with fruits and vegetables, but that's the wrong mindset to build the business you want to build. You see, I learned that once I learned what a national marketing director was, and that was the pinnacle in our business, I knew that everybody needed to focus on getting 5 people to that sales coordinator commission level as fast as they could, finding 5 leaders to help them build their business as big as they wanted to build it. And what I learned is if your mindset is to go out and get the next customer, it's great. You'll build a small customer base. But if your mindset is to go out and look for those 5 people until you find them, to build those new team members, to build it strong and deep with a structure of 5, and then go get your next 5. But until you found those 5, you hadn't accomplished your mission. And so they say, well, what about customers? I'm like, let me tell you something. Everybody's not going to get in this business. You can't explain the business without explaining our amazing product. It is the GOAT. Kerry likes to call it the GOAT, the greatest of all time. It's the #1 nutrition product, most researched nutrition products of its kind in the world. So people are going to get on the product. Everybody's not going to get in the business. If you go out and look for customers, you may only get customers. If you focus on going out and finding those 5 people, you're still going to get customers, but you're going to find those 5 and you're going to maximize your income in this business and build it as big as you want to build. And Kerry says, build a dynasty, that faithful, consistent, reliable income for you and your family, not just now, but for decades and future generations to come.
Let me rewind a minute. Did I just hear you say that your team has 250 to 300 national marketing directors?
It's over 250. I don't know the exact number. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Wow, that is amazing. So what are your top 3 recruiting tips that you can share, Curt, as one of the top income earners in the company?
There's so many, Kerry. I think #1 is that I guess this is a tip. I can word it this way. So on the bookshelf behind me, I have a paperweight that I got in 1989 when I got in this business. And the quote's anonymous. I don't know who said it. Somebody on the line may know tonight, but it says, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And what I've learned is that when I can listen to people and help them reach their goals, help their family do things that they never dreamed they could do, that they'd found the right vehicle. When they know how much I care about them, instead of me dumping information on them and just telling them how much I know, that's when I find a person that becomes a golden relationship. That's a lifetime relationship. So I would say first, let them know you care instead of how much you know first. And that starts that relationship and that process. I would say the second thing is you have to let people play the role they're willing to play in this business. So when you're recruiting people, some people see themselves as sellers. Some people see themselves as recruiters. Some people don't want to get necessarily do the everyday activities of this business, but they have massive networks and they have the relationships. So I found instead of trying to put a round peg in a square hole, or if that's the way you say it, or a square peg in a round hole, give them the opportunity to play the role they want to play in building a business. Because some people I know that I brought them in the business, they didn't need the money. They were fairly healthy. Some people got in the business to help me. They were willing to help me because they saw the potential. So I reached out to them and they helped me find my 5 people. Others were great recruiters, and their sphere of influence is what we did. I became the legs and arms, and their sphere of influence helped me build their business and my business. And so I think you let people play the role they want to play. When you're willing to be the leader, the arms and legs and hands of the business, let them play the role they want to play. And then last but not least is I think you have to help them see this business fulfilling their why or their purpose. When you recruit somebody, like I said in the beginning, most people, they're not getting in the business to sell a nutrition product. They're not getting in business to recruit and sponsor people. They're getting in the business because, like Lori and I, they had a desire, a reason, something that they wanted to change, and they saw this business as the vehicle that could change it. And so when you're trying to recruit someone, you have to show them how this business can help them accomplish their why, their purpose, their passion, whatever you want to call it. And that's why we're in the business today. And I think that's why most of the people we've recruited are in the business, is because we showed them how this business could help them stop trading hours for dollars so that they could pursue their passion, purpose, and why that God had given them in their life. So really, recruiting may be more about attracting than recruiting. I like to attract people instead of recruit people. So you can model that too with your lifestyle and with the time availability, and people watch how you spend your life, and then they want to duplicate that.
Well, Curt, I love network marketing. I mean, Jim Rohn, who's one of the most well-known motivational speakers in direct sales of all time, had a quote. And this quote was about network marketing. He said, network marketing is really the greatest source of grassroots capitalism because it teaches people how to take a small bit of capital, that is your time, and build the business of your dreams. Pretty interesting. Now, in saying that, I believe it's the best distribution system to develop high-level income.
No question.
With very little risk. I would like to hear from you, Curt, on this business model and what excites you about the system the most.
So, I mean, there's so many things. I mean, unlimited, there's no ceiling on your income. There are no territories. There's no upfront money. But here's what I think. I think it allows you to become a steward and invest your capital, your resources wisely. And, Kerry, I think we all know this, that we have to be good stewards of our finances. I mean, I know Danny's son's a financial planner, so we learn that we've got to be good stewards over our money. Whether we do it or not, we know we're supposed to pay our taxes, tithe, pay our debts, give to those that are less fortunate than us, and spend less than you make. Whether you do it or not, you know that. So you're supposed to be a good steward over your money. Second thing is, all of us have tried to find that 25th hour in the day through multiple methods our entire life. I mean, I remember my massive switch from a paper calendar to my iPad. I mean, I tried Blackberries and Palm Pilots and all kinds of things, kept going back to paper, finally made the switch. But I've taken courses, tried gadgets, gizmos, index cards, Post-it notes. We've all tried to find the best system to manage our time the best. But let me tell you something. This business does not require you to make a huge financial investment. It doesn't require 80 hours a week of your calendar, but it does require you to invest something you've never learned how to invest before. It's probably what you have the most of that you've never learned how to invest anymore. So you've got financial capital, you've got time capital, but how many of you have ever thought about how you were going to invest your relational capital? That's the mass amounts of people in your network, the relationships that you've poured into your entire life that love you, trust you, and you love them and they trust you. And my goal is, Kerry, when I bring somebody in this business, I try to let them give me a new title. If I was sponsoring you today, I would want you to trust me enough that you would let me become your people investment advisor. Because what I want to do is I want to show you how to invest that relational capital. And only in a business like network marketing is the opportunity to invest that relational capital where it can multiply manyfold. You don't make any money off of them until they make money first. So you can't make money at their expense. You only make money if they're successful too. And this industry allows you to stop trading hours for dollars, which is what we all want in life. Don't we want to be able to create an income without us having to spend every hour of our time creating that paycheck? But that's what the world chases. That's the power of network marketing.
Wow. Wow. I like that. Hashtag PIA, People Investment Advisor. I wrote that down. I really like that. That's good. That's good. Now, Make a Life, Not Just a Living, has been the backbone book for recruitment, in my opinion, in our company. I use it where I mail at least one out every week with a note. Explain why you wrote the book, and do I see a re-emergence of the book coming?
Yeah, Kerry, it was my second book. I've never thought of myself as an author, really, and never dreamed of, being a John Gresham to pay my bills or anything like that. But this business gave me the time and the opportunity to do things I never thought I'd have an opportunity to do. The first book I wrote was with Tommy Newberry, who's a New York Times bestselling author, and he and I co-authored the book I call Shotgun. And it's 68 biblical principles to teach your kids before they leave home, taking stolen moments on a trail, on a ski slope, on a golf course, and teaching a principle while you spend time with your kid, and they're fighting over calling shotgun, who's going to sit in the front seat. Well, that gave me an experience, and that was something Tommy and I want to do together. If we wrote that book and did nothing but have it impact our own kids, we would have still written the book. But the Make a Life, Not Just a Living, boy, there's a long story in that. But I'm non-diagnosed ADD, if you didn't know that, Kerry. So I probably, if people think I sat and typed out that whole book, you're dreaming. I hired a corroborator, a publisher. He wrote all of Truett Cathy's books that founded Chick-fil-A, and wrote the Green family's book that founded Hobby Lobby. And I sat with him, and he asked me questions for 14 months. And then we went on a 4-day retreat, and we would record, and he would type, and we'd go back and forth, because this time I had a message that I wanted to get out. God had done some amazing things in my life. He taught me the principles of pursuing the next Kairos moment. And Kairos moments are, Chronos is the timeline, the normal timeline of life. It's seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, months, days. It's just like, we're going to get off this phone call and we're going to go to bed, and you and I'll probably get up and have breakfast and talk to each other in the morning or something, so tomorrow's going to happen. That's just normal things. It's normal. Kairos is something that breaks that normal timeline. It comes down and it says, this is not usual. Someone sharing this business with us was not usual. It was an opportunity for Lori and I to make a decision over a dinner at Fran's house, and she shared it with us, and we had to choose, do we take advantage of this or do we just let it pass by? And so this book was about everybody is experiencing Kairos moments in their life. God teaches us things, even if it's as simple as you get a speeding ticket driving home. You're not expecting that, but there's a lesson to learn from that. You can get mad and cuss the cop out. Wasn't there somebody murdering somebody or a drug deal going on? Why did you need to stop me? You can get mad about it. You can get mad your insurance is going to go up, or you can learn a lesson that, you know what, I would have only been home 2 minutes earlier if I just slowed down a little bit, you know? So everything in life gives us those opportunities. So this book, Make a Life, Not Just a Living, the tagline is discovering the next Kairos moment. What's next in your life? You know, and the second thing is what I said earlier, and that is I had everybody in my life around me, and I watched them, in a grind where, I mean, I can remember vividly. I mean, tell Danny Jr. not to get mad at me, Danny, but I mean, there are industries that are created out there that want you to work harder, float your resume, get a bigger paycheck, fund your 401k, work a little harder, float your resume, get a bigger paycheck, fund your 401k, fund your 401k, fund your 401k, pay for college, buy a bigger house, fund your 401k. And when you're 65, you can buy the boat you dreamed of and enjoy life. And your kids are gone and they never got to enjoy it with you. And what I realized is that I could make the life now that wasn't dependent on my hours for dollars, that I could do something now so that I didn't have to wait to be on an empty boat when I was 65 or 70 years old, counting my money in my 401k, that there was a way to create an income stream today so that I could make a life, not just spend my life making a living. And that's why I wrote that book, because it's a message that I use every day. And yes, Kerry, it's on its third publishing, and you met my person that works for me. He's my guru guy, does videography for me and email and marketing. And we're working on a reprint of this book. Instead of just reprinting it this time, though, we're going to update it. You know, this will be a post-COVID edition because the book came out right before COVID. And it's going to have a new cover and some new messaging in it that's relevant today, kind of an update. So I'm kind of, you know, I never wrote the book for that to be how I made my living. I wrote the book to get a message out of how we all should try to make our living and make a life. And so I appreciate your kind words on that book. And you can find out more about it at makealife.com. It's been a blessing to share that. And if anybody on here, you know, short on cash and you can't afford it, call me and I'll give you one.
Well, you know, Curt, I never order a book or two at a time. I order them by the cases, as you're aware, and continue giving them out. I think it's the best recruiting book we have in our company that I've been involved with for 35 years. Now, how about you pretty much gave us the best closing comment we could have just now. But if you were to give us a couple of other closing comments to those who are looking to build a dynasty, build a dream, what would it be?
Kerry, I'm going to change your question a little bit if you give me your permission, but I think a good question that I got asked several times on the call today is now the right time to join this company? You know, COVID hit us and it made us live in isolation for years. We're past that, but we're living the consequences of people that decided to isolate. And we're just now getting a fresh breath of being a relational country again, getting out there and building the relationships again. And part of that there's so many things that have changed, and we're going through a technology upgrade that's going to take us to amazing new places. Things are going on in our industry where you got to pick the right company. You know, I heard our CEO, Travis Garza, who I love, at our last leadership conference, he was talking about how many companies in our industry don't survive, Kerry. That our industry is one of a lot of startups, a lot of dreamers, and a lot of greed, that they create companies that thrive for the moment to make a few people at the top rich. But our company's 50 years old, and our founder, Jay Martin, he's poured his heart, blood, sweat, sweat, and tears back into this company. And he even founded this company on this vision statement. Our mission is to inspire healthy living around the world, but listen to the vision that this company was founded on. Jay Martin founded this company on this statement. He said, I want to build a stable. That means it's going to be around for a long time. It means it's sturdy, it's stable, it's lasting. I want to build a stable and lasting company that will help as many people as possible realize their dreams. Not only did he do that, but because of our business works the way it does, Kerry does, I have the opportunity to gift that stable and lasting company to other people too. 4 generations of my family today eat this product and flood their body with fruits and vegetables, and they're healthier because of it. 3 generations in my family generate full-time income from this business today. And I know that this business is going to be around for a long time. And if you were on a call that Kerry and I were on this past week and you heard our leader sharing the product innovation pipeline, sharing what's coming in terms of, we know we're the largest plant-based nutrition company in the world. But if we can find the right plant-based innovative products to meet the needs of our country today, and we know what they are. The products are coming. We have innovation going on like I've never seen in my 37 years with this company. So that's number one. Number two, we have a leader and a leadership team that, other than the day I met Jay Martin, I've never been more impressed with the leadership we have at this company. And you can't, when you join something, if their leadership's not present, it's frustrating and you don't want to be a part of it. And I love our leaders. So we have great leaders. We have a product innovation pipeline. We're stable and lasting. And last but not least, I would say you can do in this business what you want to do. If you want to do a little bit, you can make a little bit of income and cover some bills. I mean, right now, $1,000 a month will just get you back to even because of the inflation that our previous administration put us through the last 4 years. We've got so much inflation in this country. You need about $1,000 a month just to be at the same place you were 4 years ago. So we can show you how to make a little bit of money. We can show you how to create a great diversified part-time income that, I had someone in my business. This is so cool. I'll give you two. I'm going to give you 2 examples. I know I'm going longer than Kerry wanted me to. I'm going to give you 2 examples right here. We brought on one person in our business. She was, I think, 46, but in her mid-40s. And she'd been infertile, had been trying to have kids for a long time. She was a guidance counselor at our kids' Christian school. Her husband was the baseball coach. We loved them. They loved us. We went to church together. And she started taking Juice Plus through her infertility battles. And I'll never tell anybody that Juice Plus got her pregnant, but she certainly gives Juice Plus and her nutrition into her having a baby in her mid-40s. And she, you know what? If you tried that long and that hard, you don't want to go back to work. You want to stay at home and hug that baby. And that's what she wanted to do. But she called me one day, she was crying, and she said, "Curt, could you help me? I feel so guilty. My husband works so hard. He's coaching 3 different sports to get stipends and trying to pay our bills. And I used to contribute, and I don't contribute to our income anymore. Do you think you could help me with the Juice Plus business? All I want to do is pay for our groceries. Could you help me do that?" Well, the first month we paid for the groceries. And then she said, "How about groceries and the auto insurance?" So we did groceries and the auto insurance. Then we did groceries, auto insurance, and the utilities. Then we did groceries, auto insurance, utilities, and the mortgage. And so she built a Juice Plus business, but she took it one little step at a time because that's all she could bite off. And it was amazing for her. And I'll give you another extreme example to close us out. And this is what made me understand why the decision to stop trading hours for dollars is so important in our life today. I was in New Orleans, Louisiana with a doctor, and he had everything he could ever want in life. He was a bariatric surgeon, gastroenterologist. And at that time, that surgery was coming out. Those doctors were searching for a way to make sure their patients had the right nutrition, because right after that surgery, they couldn't eat like they usually eat. So he loved Juice Plus, loved the research, and he had booked a booth at the Gastroenterology Today conference in New Orleans. We were there, and we were going to dinner that night. We were in a rental car, and I just decided, I couldn't figure it out, because, this guy, he had a house in Atlanta, a house in Alabama, he had a farm, he had a beach house, he was a member of 2 or 3 country clubs. And every time I saw him, he was driving a new Mercedes or a BMW. It didn't look like he needed money at all. And so we were enjoying each other. And I just had to ask him, I said, "Jim, why are you doing this business? You don't need the money." And he says, "Curt, you don't understand, do you?" I said, "Well, I wouldn't ask you the question if I did." I said, "Looks like you got everything you could ever want." He says, "We were stuck in traffic." He says, "You see that car over there? The yellow one? I said, yeah. The taxi? He said, yeah. He said, you see the meter on the dashboard of the red lights? I said, yeah. He said, guess what? He said, as long as that boy's hands are on the steering wheel, that meter runs. As soon as he takes his hands off the steering wheel, it stops. He says, just like me every day. As long as I got my hand on the scope, on the knife, on the diagnostic instrument, I'm making money. As soon as my hands let go and I'm not doing it, my money stops. He said, I got all the toys, I've got everything, but I have to figure out a way because I cannot keep doing this. I want to enjoy what I have, not work every day to have more. And he said, I'm in this business so I can stop trading hours for dollars, that I can have my meter run when my hands aren't on the steering wheel. So you got a guidance counselor that had nothing trying to pay for groceries, and a doctor that was making millions wanting to create income that he didn't have to be the one trading hours for dollars. And our business meets the needs for that guidance counselor as well as that physician. You never know. But this business is right for a lot of people, whether you start small or you start big. And that's what you have to decide. Do you have that little entrepreneurial bug in you? If you've been saying, we're gonna have our own business one day, just wait. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait. What's going to be your Kairos moment to have you make a decision to say, okay, if things are going to change, I got to change. It's time to stop talking about it, time to do something about it. And if you're there, you're going to get off this phone and you're going to call the person that asked you to listen. And you're going to say, what do I need to do next? Whether it's small or big, it doesn't matter. We will dive in there, support you, and help you build a business beyond your wildest dreams. And I get excited every day about doing that. It's what I love to do. And I love my friends like Kerry Daigle, and he's my mentor. Thanks, Kerry.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I really enjoyed tonight. I'm sure a lot of people listening in, you all enjoyed too. And the way you closed tonight made me think of a quote that we're both familiar with from Andrew Carnegie. He said, you develop millionaires the way you mine gold. You expect to move tons of dirt to find an ounce of gold, but you don't go in the mine looking for the dirt. You go in looking for the gold.
Yeah.
And kind of summarizes what Curt Beavers is all about. He has spent his life, 37 years with this company, going in and thinking, I'm looking for the gold. And he's built dynasties, not only himself, but his entire family, and has taught literally thousands of other people to do the same. And we appreciate him giving us his wisdom tonight. We really do. We're going to go ahead and stop this recording.